Alright, so you've come this far in the Cycle Diet course. I thought it would be good to give you some real-world examples of clients and people I've worked with, past and present, who use the Cycle Diet, both looking at it as people who've gone on it for long-term and are using it as a lifestyle now, that they've adopted to it, and people who are just starting out on the Cycle Diet. So I'm going to give you a few examples, and I'm also going to show you cross-population, so you don't think it's just a one scenario, one demographic that it fits. So since the Cycle Diet was born in the bodybuilding culture, that's how I discovered it, that's how it amalgamated. I'm going to start with a few clients that I would call high-end physique artists. They don't compete, but that's what I would label them as. So I want to show you what's possible with the Cycle Diet across all kinds of demographics. So we're going to start with some high-end physique artists. First one, Andy Sinclair. Andy's a fitness model, has been for a long time, and he stays within striking distance of photo shoot leanness year-round with the Cycle Diet. Alright, and you see pictures of Andy here, and you see what kind of shape he achieves, but he's always within striking distance of that because he has to be in case a photo shoot comes out. So I want to make a few important notes about that. Andy's been with me 10 years, a decade now. Alright, and he's been cycle dieting for about 9 of those years. So he's been consistent with that the whole time, therefore he optimizes metabolism, he gets to understand his biofeedback, and the more he does this as a lifestyle, the more he experiences it, learns from it, capitalizes on it, etc. He trains very hard, he follows the Cycle Diet regimented, but he's also got that mature mindset that I've talked about. He's got the midweek spike and the full cheat day, but sometimes if he feels like he doesn't need the midweek spike, depending on his biofeedback, alright, he just skips it. That's a mature mindset. It's not eating because you think you deserve to cheat all the time. It's about gauging your biofeedback. So he does that. It also means that over the years on the Cycle Diet, he's learned how to properly read his own feedback. As they say in coaching, you start out as a guiding light and you turn into more of a mirror. So people like Andy will bounce their biofeedback off me and say, well, I think I'm going to do this week. I think I'm going to skip my midweek spike and just take the cheat day, or I'm going to skip the midweek spike and the cheat day for the next 2 weeks to sharpen up for my photo shoot, that kind of thing. And then I will agree or disagree or make the points that I think are relevant. So also on that front, we might skip a midweek spike to get sharper, but on the other side of that coin, he's not afraid to take 2 weeks off totally from diet and training. If he has no photo shoots scheduled and it's right after completing one of my tougher training programs, he'll write and say, I'm going to take the next 2 weeks off training and diet and see how much weight I can gain and get back into that mode. And he runs it by me first, and we make that decision based on his feedback. He doesn't compete and he doesn't feel he needs to, so it's not just about competition to be high end. Also, you'll see my client Aaron here. I thought I'd throw in some pictures here. And my client Dawn as well. Both are with me. Both have the midweek spike and the full cheat day, but both are at a point, because they're doing Cycle Diet as a lifestyle, where they make the decisions. They might skip a midweek spike here and there, skip a cheat day here and there, or take a week off. Like Dawn stays between 205 pounds, 208 pounds year-round, but he just keeps looking better and better, harder and harder. It's not about the weight. He doesn't worry about that. He's now learned to gauge his biofeedback, and he's been with me almost a decade as well. Neither Aaron nor Dawn compete anymore. That's not what it's about. I just call them high-end physique artists because they train at a higher level and they Cycle Diet at a higher level, and they've learned to use their biofeedback, read their biofeedback, because they do the Cycle Diet as a lifestyle and not as a diet. So they stay in shape to look like they could compete anytime, even though that no longer interests them. So I thought I would include those high-end physique artists as an example, since the Cycle Diet was born in that world. But I also want to show you some contrasts with some regular, ordinary people who don't have the time, energy, and focus on that kind of physique display. So let's move on to someone else, another client, and I'll start showing you the differences between Cycle Diet as a lifestyle and Cycle Diet just breaking into it and things like that. So let's move on.